Good afternoon. Major breaking news this afternoon. Governor Eric Greitens has announced he will resign that office at the end of the week rather than continue a battle against what has looked more and more like a march toward impeachment by the state legislature. We have team coverage tonight. KRCG 13's Tommy Sladak is at the state capitol. He is outside Lieutenant Governor Mike Parson's office. Mike Parson will be the next governor of Missouri. We'll hear from him in a moment. First, Ashley Zavala is in the newsroom following reaction from lawmakers, and we will begin with Garrett Bergquist, who explains that resignation in further detail. Garrett?
In our continuing coverage, 2 women are dead after a crash in Camden County. The crash happened this morning on Highway 5 just south of Camdenton. Highway Patrol Sergeant Scott White says Cassandra Reed lost control of her SUV and hit another vehicle. Cheryl DeWald and her passenger, Dolores Bernard, were in that SUV. Reed and Bernard died at the scene. DeWald is now in the hospital with serious injuries. Days after Congress fails to pass a farm bill impacting thousands of Missourians, we have team coverage as Republicans couldn't get enough votes to pass the bill due to the ongoing debate on immigration. Good afternoon, I'm Megan Lane. Thanks for joining us. KRCG 13's Garrett Bergquist is live in Jefferson City. He'll tell us about how the bill affects Missourians on food stamps. Mark Slavitt tells us how local farmers are reacting to the news. But we begin with KRCG 13's Kermit Miller. He joins us live from Washington, D.C. this afternoon, where he's questioning the Missouri delegation and tracking impacts back here at home.
Yeah, Megan, this is a very unusual situation. This is a 700-page piece of legislation, $867 billion in spending that covers everything from nutrition programs and conservation programs to crop price subsidies and insurance, a couple of things very important in Missouri. This usually sails through with bipartisan support. That did not happen this year, and it had nothing to do with the bill itself. As you indicated, it had everything to do with the concern over immigration law. We asked Congressman Blaine Luetkemeyer about that this afternoon.
Here's a live look at Capitol Hill. Senator Claire McCaskill right now is in a hearing discussing the National Defense Reauthorization Act. This primarily deals with the budget and policies of the military. We have plans to speak with McCaskill tomorrow in D.C. She says classified discussions are the reason why she decided to vote against new CIA Director Gina Haspel. She says she felt uncomfortable with Haspel's answers during the classified briefing. You can read more about her decision to oppose the vote of CIA Director Gina Haspel on our website, krcgtv.com. And breaking news, St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner and her office are no longer allowed to be involved in a potential new felony invasion of privacy investigation process. Judge Rex Burleson says any further investigation will have to be done by an independent attorney. You can read that full story on our website, krcgtv.com. If you're charged with a crime but can't afford an attorney, the state's supposed to provide one. But the agency supplying those defense lawyers says that task is becoming more difficult.
Authorities say there are different accounts of where the mother was when her daughters died in Clay County on Independence Day. 29-year-old Jenna Bodecker says she fell asleep with her daughters in a running car and found them unresponsive when she woke up. A social worker who was at the house 3 hours before the mother and daughters were found told investigators he checked the house but didn't see anyone. He says he noticed the car was running but didn't know if anyone was inside. Bodecker has not been charged in the girls' deaths. The heat advisory has been extended to cover more of mid-Missouri. KRCG 13's meteorologist Elise Smith is in the Weather Center. She's been tracking these conditions all day. Elise, what do you got?
Yes, so the heat advisory that was issued a couple of days ago for the western portion of mid-Missouri has now been added to give more counties to the eastern portion of mid-Missouri that advisory, because we are going to see heat indices this afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, and Saturday afternoon between 100 and 105 degrees.
New at 5, a Baltimore County, Maryland police officer is dead and police are searching for her killer. The officer was investigating a suspicious vehicle in Perry Hall when someone shot her. This is video we just got.
The Highway Patrol is now releasing the name of the suspect accused of shooting a trooper in Mansfield in southern Missouri. They say 32-year-old Colby Ray of Orlando, Florida, shot trooper Robert Cruz while Cruz and 2 other law enforcement officials were investigating reports of a suspicious vehicle. A Minnesota corrections officer was killed in the line of duty after an attack at a state prison. Officer Joseph Gom was pronounced dead after being rushed to a hospital. Officials say an inmate used an unidentified weapon to kill Gom. Authorities put the prison on lockdown after that attack.